Our investigative documentary uncovered a troubling history of city leaders publicly touting police reform while allowing the police department to undermine those promises. Scripps News, in partnership with the Kentucky Center for Investigative Reporting, found Louisville relied on controversial policing tactics, did not support officers, and fostered a culture of abuse of the force in the city's majority black neighborhoods. We found this endangered both officers on the streets and its black citizens. Among those citizens, the DOJ reviewed the case of the killing of David McAtee, a beloved barbecue owner in the city's majority black neighborhood during the summer of 2020 protest. It was one of the central examples in the model city showing how Louisville's reform efforts had failed. Here's that story.
David McAtee, a.k.a. Yaya, the barbecue man.
Yaya's Barbecue was a rare place in the West End where residents and officers like Dexter Pitts were welcome.
The man fed a lot of people for free, and he took care of officers. I offered him money, like, your money's no good here, man. Thank you for what you do. Thanks for looking after the community.
Yaya basically befriended the police. Everybody kept problems away from her out of the respect for him.
We got crowd out there. It's going down tonight.
Marvin McAtee was there helping his Uncle David prepare food.
He was focused on getting these ribs on that grill.
Not worried for a second that his life would be in danger.
As Yaya was getting ready for the late-night food rush, a convoy of LMPD vans followed by military trucks showed up.
We start seeing the National Guards, the Humvees, the big ones, few police cars.
Police just came.
LMPD sent officers in riot gear and guardsmen with assault rifles to squash a protest, when in fact, there was none.
There is a such thing as inciting a riot by the police.
Get in the car and leave. Let's go. I'm gone. Soon as I get my keys.
Police jumped out of their vans, and almost immediately, an officer fired a pepper ball into the street in front of Yaya's. People flooded into the kitchen for cover. McAtee's niece stood in the doorway. The officer continued to fire pepper balls, this time at her. Drink cans went flying, then McAtee's niece was hit in the shoulder.
He looking at his niece fall back. Whoever did this can't be the police in his eyes, not the police that he feed.
McAtee leaned out of the kitchen door with a gun and fired one shot.
Shots fired, shots fired.
And then he fired a second shot. LMPD officers and National Guardsmen responded with a barrage of gunfire. McAtee was struck once in the chest.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Crawl! Crawl! Crawl!
He's dying! He's dying!
Put your hands down.
Who's dying?
Put your hands down and just wait.
But it was too late. David McAtee was dead.
They just killed Yaya.
No black blood today!
Later that morning, a crowd gathered at 26 and Broadway.
The energy was pure disgust.
McAtee's body still laid inside his barbecue joint. Bishop Lyons and others tried to restore the peace.
All we gotta do is just stay off the street, and they gone. Good.
How much more do we have to take? You've already killed Breonna. Now you got Dave and Jaja laying over there. What else do we have to take?
Where we're from, right? West End. We always have that feeling. Like, why the hell are we there messing with us?
The DOJ's report called what you just saw one tragic case. It also answered remaining questions reporters highlighted in the incident. One of those was whether David McAtee shot at officers. For the first time, the report confirms what we heard from community members on the ground all along, and that is that McAtee fired twice in the air, not at police.